Yeah.
Gonna have to do it the old-fashioned.
Okay, everyone. We'll give it a few minutes for people to come on because we don't have our long intro like some other programs do. But if we go by how many people shared this thing, there's going to be a lot of people watching.
Maybe
And
six people.
we're at like 2 now. Oh no, we passed 5. There we go.
I mean, you went
person.
straight into the show too. I mean, it was like, yeah, no lead in, nothing, just boom.
I mean,
right there.
we'll get there. We'll get
Dived
there.
in.
But I'll give it a little time for people
Hello,
to come
everybody.
on. A lot of people are coming on. How you doing, everyone? I see a lot of hellos. Hello, everyone. You want to grab my tablet so you can see because you're
Do both.
older than I am.
Is this your
older
YouTube
people,
one?
so we need to.
Is this
What do you mean?
YouTube?
You're around my age, aren't you?
No, we're older. We're older
Excuse
than
me.
you. I'm 57. She just turned 58.
Oh, damn. Well, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. See?
you look good, Chris.
Well, thank you. He calls me an
go.
old lady
Yeah.
all the
That's already
time.
2.
John, you look great. You look great.
He goes, "You act really old. You're showing your age."
Oh my God!
Is
Well,
this
we're not going to get
this
into
YouTube or?
that. No, this is Facebook.
You don't
So,
want
Yeah,
on
I mean,
YouTube?
we got
You're the old
YouTube
one.
showing up. We got Facebook.
Yeah, you're the old one.
Well, here's the thing.
Click on
Okay.
that. There you go. Anyway, hello everyone. We are New Jersey Paranormal. I'm John. This is my wife, Chris. We are also the co-founders of the New Jersey Para Unity Expo, which is coming up on November 8th in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Jay will be there with the
One of my favorite events.
with the entire Ghost Hunters team. With JV will be there as well, who's part of Jay's YouTube
First time
channel.
ever.
What?
It'll be the first time ever for him to be there too.
JV?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
I
having Jim.
apologize now for him.
Well, we're going to try to keep him like off to the side somewhere so he doesn't.
In
no,
a
we're not
corner.
doing that. I like JV. Anyway, Jason Hawes, who, if you don't know who Jason Hawes is, you don't know much about the paranormal because he is definitely one of the pioneers as far as I'm concerned. We were talking earlier today about, our generation, younger generation, they all know ghost hunters. Everybody knows ghost hunters. They're kind of the pioneers of paranormal TV. Everything that came after, you kind of owe to these guys because they were the ones who broke through and
Fred
kinda
Wiley
make
goes
it-
best ever.
well, they made it mainstream. And my respect for Jay and ghost hunters is that the debunking part. Even now, you don't see a lot of people kind of even trying that. They're just kind of doing it, and to each his own. But they did kind of introduce that as part of it, at least.
Being authentic, yeah.
Well, so
That's what it's about. Just keeping it real. It's not always paranormal. It doesn't have to be, scary as well. So it's just always been about keeping it real and being honest, whether it's paranormal or not.
So we're going to get into what is going on. We're going to take it from the beginning, if you don't mind. I know you've talked about this so many times on your YouTube channel already. You're doing a lot of updates constantly, but I figured if there's anybody here who hasn't watched them, I recommend you do subscribe to Jason's channel, Jason Hawes. But we're going to take it from the beginning. Most of you probably know, if you don't, I don't know where you've been, if you're in the paranormal community, that the Conjuring house from the movie is in limbo right now. I'll let Jay talk about it more because he knows way more about it than I do. And we went through this whole gambit of there was going to be this auction and these different people were going to be bidding on it. And then next thing you know, Andrea Perrin put some message out, basically, asking Jay,
Put out a plea to Jay.
yeah, could you please get involved? This house needs to be respected and the history, and we need someone to take care of it who matters and who will, give it the respect it deserves in the community, and basically put it out there, like asking Jay, could you please do this? And did you know that, first of all, that message was coming?
No, I had no idea. I mean, that was it was a shock. It was an emotional shock too, because Andrea had asked if I would reach out a few times over a few weeks prior, and I hadn't. I had a feeling it was like about the Conjuring house, and I had said since day one I didn't want to do anything with it. I didn't want to be involved in it. And she made a video, and the video, I got to be honest, man, that video, it was tough to watch. It's, I love her dearly, and her family's always been phenomenal people. And that, I saw that video actually right before I went live with JV, and I'll tell you, it was tough because, trying to like bite the inside of your cheeks and stuff. And I got people texting me and trying to call me, and I just kept on putting them a voicemail because I couldn't talk to anybody at that point. Yeah. And, I mean, in the video, Andrea, she has stage 4 cancer, and it's gone to her brain as well. And she was making a plea. She made a plea, and you know what? It's at that point, it was tough because I had to answer it. If I didn't do anything, I wouldn't have been able to live with myself.
Well, take me through it at that point. Your first time watching that video, did somebody tell you about it, or did you see it yourself? Were you tagged?
Well, somebody tagged me in it, and I saw it.
And what were your thoughts initially watching that? Were you saying I need to do something, or were you like, oh my God, what do I do here?
No, that was the first thing for my first off. My first thoughts were, oh my God. Look at Andrea. It's like, and yeah, I had no thoughts about. I tried to think it I tried to keep it as far from my mind as possible. It wasn't until a while after that that I knew I had to do something. I mean, whether, if I took a shot and tried, at least I took a shot and tried. And I'll be honest, I had no idea, John. Like we were just talking earlier, I was like, I'd never done anything. I tried to think of the different ways to do this if I was going to help. And the biggest thing was because I didn't plan on, on doing this. This wasn't, I didn't want to be in the
Let's
business.
be honest, Jason, you got a public plea from someone you hold very dear and near to you to do something. That's a big burden and heavy weight to take on. You had to really sit back and think hard.
Yeah, I don't ever want to say it was a burden or a weight because, it's
I'm talking about emotional.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And, like I said, it was one of those things where I hadn't planned on this route. I mean, I could have bought the property 10 years ago when Jen and Corey were selling it. They came to me first, and I chose not to. But I have to be honest, after watching that video, I had to do something. I couldn't just sit back. So I figured, all right, either I'm going to have to, go and try to go in financially on this. And the only problem with that is then the minute I do that, then I need to make that money back. And that was a concern. It was like, and then I figured, all right, well, you know what? A lot of people are also asking me to do this now. Yeah. And all right, why don't we see if we can make it a community effort,
right? And
just put it out there under the premise of, and 99% of the people out there have been positive because they get it, they understand it. And I've seen this community come together like I've never seen before. But then you get these people out there like, he's just trying to get you to buy him a house. I'm like, I own houses. I don't want another freaking house. And it was, if I was going to do this, how could I do it in a way that could allow the other 80 to 90% of people who aren't able to afford to go into these properties? And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the Conjuring house used to charge $1,500, $2,000 a night. Oof. I don't want to do that to people. I refuse to do that. Even when we own the hotel, the inn, I mean, you rent a room for $80. You want to investigate, go and investigate. It was never about, doing that to people. So
yeah, but like you said, if you look at it as an investment, then you need a return, and the only way to get that is.
And that's why if I figured if I brought the community together, right, we could all try to do, raise the funds together, and it would be the least amount of investment for me. We can do this. We can get the house. We can fix it up and keep the prices low.
Right.
And that's what it's been about. And you see the movement that's coming out of this, and all the people out there who are part of this. I mean, I'm getting contacted from people all around the world, news agencies from all around the world, and And then there's still some who, no matter what, still are like, oh, I don't care. I'm still gonna whatever, teach their own. But and also the majority of people out there who were going to bid on the property have stepped up to support what we were doing. And
really,
oh yeah, I mean,
nice.
there's been a bunch of people who plan to bid on the property, and they're like, you know what? Hey, you're trying to keep it low. You're doing this for somebody. You're doing this for the community. I get it. I'm not gonna bid against you, and that means a lot, because it's not me looking to gain another property. You guys know me. I don't need another property. I've been living my best life the last 5 years. But if we're going to do it, then do it. All of us come together and do it. That way, everybody's able to benefit somehow. I mean, you don't have to charge $1,500 to $2,000, $2,500 for somebody to investigate. It's just ridiculous. So, and before I finally said, all right, the hell with it, I'm going to make a video, I talked to the neighbors all around the house who've had so many problems with in the past.
Oh, wow.
I talked with Corey and Jen, the past owners. I've talked with the past employees. I talked, with a lot of people. I talked with Kenny Biddle, and I was like, because I wanted to see if this was like, it was just even Kenny was like, Jay, you should do it, man. You really should. And so I did. And, but let's just make it known that Andrea made a plea to me. I spoke up, but it took everybody stepping up behind me to make what's going on possible. I mean, just the most recent, I was just looking, I think the GoFundMe is, I'll tell you right now, it's $136,000.
Wow. Holy
cow. That's amazing.
Oh my God.
I mean, even GoFundMe's been promoting it.
Now,
so what was that?
Especially during the times right now where things are a little bit tighter for people. Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, and you guys, and another thing is, and you guys know me. You guys know that I'm a man of my word. I've always been, and to the point where, and John, like I told you, day one when we met, I'm like, no, this will be it, and I'll never look for more. I'll never do anything, and I've always stood true to that. But you guys know, it's not like every cent that's raised, I'm personally going to match up to $1 million, and I've already said that. But every penny that's raised is going to that, and if we don't get it, well, then, I mean, just like even it says on GoFundMe and it says in all the posts, then everybody gets their refund.
Right.
So, because you guys know me, I don't want other people's money. Shit, I didn't want to do the freaking GoFundMe.
And I know that was a question. I did see several comments where people were like, the skeptic people were just going, well, what happens to that money? Well, he's getting all that money.
Read the thing on GoFundMe and read the thing on every video and post.
Exactly. Here's a good one. Gina said, but it would be in your name, ? You would get all the benefits and take all the burdens too. And
that's a great question. Would it be in my name? Well, it would eventually be transferred over to an LLC that multiple people would be involved in running. I didn't want the property. So it's going to take a group of people. Now I'll bust my butt to get it open for everybody, and I'll help out and I'll do everything else. But I mean, it's going to have to be in an LLC in somebody's name or whatever. So yeah, I'll be attached to that, but it's not, again, you guys know that I don't need that to make a profit. I've done well. I mean, it's not,
well, and you don't need the added stress.
Yeah. If I needed money, man, I would show up to events, 10, 15, 20 times a year. I go to two events because but I do events because I have a great time hanging out with people and seeing people. I don't do it because I need to. I mean, just like the reason I mess around on YouTube, because it keeps me busy. Do I need to? No. And that's a big difference between me and many others.
Well, you bring up a good point. And again, I watched Ghost Hunters for years and years. And I never met Jay until I met him the first time at Power Unity. And we talked about this before. I had heard stuff about Jay, good and bad, and I didn't know what to expect when I met him. But he told me from the minute I met him, look, I'm a straight shooter. Ask me a question, you'll get an answer. And there are times that I text him for advice, and he's boom.
It's always stood by.
It's always a straight shot, no, icing or candy or anything. He tells me, look, this is what I think, and and he's always straight, always. And when I saw this whole thing playing out, I texted him and I said, and I meant every word of it, this field can be what it is, good or bad. They're like with anything else in the world, There's good and bad in the paranormal, and you know, you watch what's going on with some of these locations and different things, and it everybody loves the idea of, I should talk para unity, about the field coming together, whether it's one thing or 10 things or whatever. Just even the one thing matters. And this is kind of the one thing right now where you have someone stepping up in front, trying to do it for all the right reasons. And people see it and are getting behind that. The message is going and growing and growing. And it's really good to see, even if this is the only thing in, for years, that this is at least one real positive thing in the paranormal world and the paranormal community.
And I think we all need this.
Yeah, I just think it's and you're doing it for all the right reasons.
And there does have to be one person that is in charge of it. That's how things work.
But but also I wanted to make sure that others were a part of it.
Right.
So
Yes.
that way they knew, other people knew where every single penny was going, where everything was, because you know what, it's all about transparency, and that's the way I've always been. It's like anytime I've ever said anything to you guys, I've always been open and 100% transparent. It's just, yeah, so I wanted other people involved in that, so 100% everything was there, was open, and more eyes than just mine. Yeah, and that's what I don't know. It's one of those things where, let's be honest, I wouldn't be here right now, or I wouldn't be in this predicament right now, if Andrea didn't make a plea, and a plea that, come on, it touched my heart. I'll be honest. About a situation that I've tried to get away from like 10 times. I mean, it's like every time I try to get away, I get dragged back in.
You're like the Jack Nicholson of The Shining.
I know. For whatever reason, yeah. It's like for whatever reason, that property just keeps on dragging me back. But and that's the thing. It's like, okay, but if I'm gonna do it, I just want to do it the right way. Where
and you are,
where if we're able to acquire the property, beautiful. But I think the property, you can set it up where the property generates enough income just to take care of itself and keep itself updated and pay its own taxes, and it doesn't have to line my pockets. My pocket's perfectly fine. So I think when it comes down to it, it's about preserving that property. I think that's mainly what it's about. And you know what? No, if all said and done, in the end, if that's part of my legacy, that I was able to make that happen, well, then damn, I think that's a pretty good legacy.
Well, I think for her, it's about preserving the property as well, but with the right person. I think that's why she made that video, because in her heart of hearts, she felt like you were the one.
You're her ambassador.
I mean, there are a lot of other people out there with millions of dollars. We all know that. But she kind of felt like you were the guy who was going to do right and treat the property the way it should be. And I even heard, now I don't know if this is true or not, again, rumors go everywhere, but I had heard that, again, we're talking down the road, that the plans were to allow researchers, debunkers, and like
that's a plan from day one.
Yeah, could you talk about that a little bit? Because
I mean, that property has notoriously brought together believers, non-believers, skeptics, debunkers, historians. It should continue. I mean, that the door should be open. It's like, just because we might think differently doesn't mean you shouldn't go to the property. I mean, that means you should go to the property because you think different. I mean, so your view is going to be just as important as my view. So, I mean, and that was even something I talked with Kenny about and stuff. I mean, I would love the idea of, okay, you got a property that brings all those different walks of life together. Well, wouldn't it be great if utilize the barn or something that's there and make it so you can show scientific advancements and paranormal advancements and where they've crossed paths? Because we need to know where we are, because that's the only way we know how to get to the next step. So and it takes us all, and I think that's important. So I mean, day one, that's exactly what it would be.
We have yet
be
to
open
go
for
there.
all.
We've never been.
No.
Well, and I'm sure the cost factor in the
Jason's
past
going
was
to
a
They
big,
comment.
did. They
it was
did.
a big, yeah. And that's the thing, you know, how many mom and pa's or parents and their kids or the kid wants to get out and investigate. And they're like, well, I mean, we can't afford to go there. So, well, you should be able to afford to go there. And you know what? And I think this is really the only way to make that happen is, and I get it. I mean, there's people out there who have business plans
Of
who want to
course.
do this.
Right.
And I totally get it. If I was 20 years younger and I hadn't already, you know, had my business plan, maybe I'd be there, but I'm not. And I'm at a point in my life where it's like, well, and you guys know me. It's always been about giving. I've never wanted to charge people these large amounts of cash or anything. It's never been about that.
But
So
that's
yeah,
the
I mean,
great part of it. The
if
great
this
part
makes
of
it
it.
so, you
Go
know,
ahead.
so and so can get there and afford to, then I mean, where's the bad in that?
Right. And the great part of it is, you're right. There's nothing wrong with the business model of, you know, return on your
Until we
investment.
lose all the properties to those business models.
There, yeah.
And
That's the problem.
that's the
That's
problem.
bad.
That's the problem that every, you know, all these properties out there are falling within this business model.
And that's
So
what's going
what
to
are people
happen.
what are people
That's
going to be stuck with? Going to a park at night to try to do research or
Well, now you
investigation?
just took my business idea. Thank you, John. Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, real
It's
quick,
just
this
yeah.
is important. This is important. People are asking, multiple people, how long do we have to raise the money?
Well,
Is
right
our
now,
cutoff.
it appears another lender ended up picking up the bank note. They didn't buy the property; they bought the bank note. So, but a lot of times lenders do that. They'll buy a bank's debt and they'll buy it in blocks. So what means is that it has to go through the foreclosure process again, and it gets to the next step. So, not sure yet. I mean, we're waiting. Of course, time is of the essence because the quicker we raise what we need to,
Right.
I mean, the quicker we're prepared for the next step. And you know, and that's why it was, you know, and I had always planned to throw in, a large chunk to try to help out and
I
offset.
figured.
But that's why I wanted to make sure people understood, you know, all right, well, I'll match dollar to dollar. We'll go up to $1 million, and then there's been other, and I'll match up to $1 million. So again, as you see, I don't need people's money. So, but you know, but there's also, and I can't say any names, but there's also been some other people that I know and that have stepped up and made incredible offers to assist. And the nice thing is, they've made incredible offers with no expectation of return. And I
Wow.
think that's important. It's not like they're sitting there saying, "I'll give you 400, but I'm gonna need this percentage and stuff." They're like, "I'll give you the 400. Just do everything you can to save it."
Wow. You
And
wish there
that's
were more places like that. You really do.
yeah.
Because you had mentioned, you know, the
You can't kind of
affordability.
skim over the fact that someone's willing to just hand over that kind of money and
But
not.
Chris, come on! I come from the TV industry. You know,
I mean, come on.
the production company I was just with sold for $500 million to one person. So do the math. I mean, there's a lot of people out there for that.
But the affordability aspect, again, we do our paranormal events, and we haven't really, we charge $55 for like a 4 or 5 hour event. Para Unity has been $25 for 11 years in now. And I'm all about that, being in the field,
Yeah.
you know, giving people value, letting them experience it. And I think that's really, really important. And when you do get into a place where, like you said, these multi-million-dollar corporations are buying up, then, like you said, that price is going to be kind of set
Yeah.
across the
Well,
board
and,
of, you want to get in there at that much,
and think of it like
that
this,
much.
John. You know, I show up to the Para Unity every year. We have a blast now, and I have an endless line. Now I could have sat there and said, "Well, John, I have an endless line, so
Yeah.
now I'm going to need to up this," but I don't need to. I do it. You and I agreed something a long time ago, and I said, "You know what? It's fine. I'll never ask, and I'll never change that, and everything else." And I've stayed true to that because
Yeah.
it's not about that for me. You know, I did the TV. I made my. You know, I mean, we're syndicated everywhere. I mean, you don't think I got a percentage of that? It's not about that. It's, you know, just I go to the event. Anybody can go there. Anybody can afford to go to the Para Unity, and I love that because I can meet everybody from all walks of life. I can meet people who are living large. I can meet people who are scraping by, and that's what it's about, man. You know, geez, yeah, I just don't understand the trying to, you know what? It's a lot easier to get $1 from 10 people than $10 from one. So it's just, you know, that's what it's about. It's about trying to just help out as many people as possible.
Well, we need more of this because the haunted locations were kind of, they were that way to begin with, and then this trend
Yeah.
started, and it's just becoming to where, again, it is becoming a business. A lot of these people are buying for investments, and again, I kind of, I would probably do it if I had billions of dollars, and I don't begrudge them doing that, but you do like the purest idea of someone like you and the people you're working with who are stepping forward for quote unquote the field, and for the regular kind of people, the investigators who don't have tens of thousands of dollars to go fly wherever. And
I actually had a place I was talking to a couple weeks back, and checking into investigating there because they had reached out to me, and I had contacted them back, and I didn't even say who I was. When I was talking to them, I was like, yeah, I'd like to see about investigating, and they dropped the price on me, and I was like, holy crap, wait, how many thousand for 4 hours? And she's like, hey, can I take down your name? I'll have so and so call you. I was like, yeah, it's Jason Hawes. She's like, oh, no, you just let us know the date, and you're welcome to come.
Yeah.
And it was so off-putting to me because, yeah, of course I was like, oh, well, thank God it's not going to cost me that much money. But then it was like, wait a minute, but it's going to cost everybody else that much money.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to investigate there. And it's, so I mean, and it's nothing personal about them. I get that people have, especially these properties, some of them have, especially you go to like Harriman Hospital and stuff, they're trying to heat this building. They're running this electric. It's a monstrous building. You got to offset their cost. But again, that's not my forte, I guess.
So have you spoken to Andrea personally since this whole thing has started?
I have spoken to her twice. Yeah.
Okay. And how does she feel about this whole movement and everything that
she's blown away. She really is. And and initially when I spoke to her, she apologized because she felt she put me on the spot, and I get it, but I don't want her to ever feel that way. It's this was her way of her last attempt trying to get me to grasp on, and it worked. And I can never, come on. She's got a big enough fight on her hands. And, I saw her just the other night. I ended up popping on to Ken DaCosta's show, and Andrea showed up, and, I just said to her, I'm like, just fight your battles. We'll fight this one, and we'll see what happens. But you worry about fighting your battle.
I only met her one time. She did an event with us at a university, and she had me laughing from the minute we picked her up from the airport to like the minute we left her. She was just, I had never met her before. She's just so outgoing and friendly, and she has these quirks, and we were just surprised.
She was amazing.
The minute she got in the car, she was just talking away and making jokes, and we
she
ate
made
with
you
her.
feel like she knew you.
Oh yeah, it felt like we knew her for like ever, and it was just like what an impression she makes on you when you meet her. If you've never met her before, and I like to think that there is some,
cosmic justice.
Yeah, that there is some kind of reason for things to happen, and every now and then things work out the way they should. And I mean, the more I see, and that money, that GoFundMe growing and growing. Where do people find the GoFundMe, by the way? Is it on...
they can find it all over my Facebook, YouTube, whatever. It's I can, it's.
Well, we'll direct them to your Facebook page.
Yeah, exactly.
Paranormal Perth asked if only people in the United States can do this, or can everyone do this?
Everybody can do it. We've been getting donations from everywhere, New Zealand, Australia, you name it, everywhere. GoFundMe's actually been promoting the hell out of it as well. Which again, it shows you the credibility behind it. So I mean, it's been coming in from everywhere. And, people have asked, well, I don't like GoFundMe. Can I send you it through PayPal? No, because here's the thing, man. If it doesn't work,
Yeah.
I want everybody in one location so I can sit there and boom,
Refund
everybody.
all. Boom,
Exactly.
right back.
I don't want to worry about money coming in this area or that area, and I'm trying to figure out where it all is. No, it's keeping it here, and also that, because if it does work, then I want everybody to know where everything is going, and every penny of it. It's yeah, I mean, the whole thing is, and it's also nice because I'm a plumber by trade. The place is going to have some plumbing issues. It went through 14 months without ever being winterized or anything like that. So it's going to have pipes that have burst, frozen and burst. It's going to have construction issues. I got construction guys. It's going to have all these different issues. And, now if anybody else goes and gets it, they're going to be paying top dollar to get somebody out there to do this. The nice thing is those are my best friends. So it's like, we'll get this job done, and we'll do it at a fraction of the cost.
So all the rumors that were going on when the auction was on and it was off, what messages were you getting during that period? Because that was a really confusing time. Like, everybody that I know thought that somebody came in and did like an underhanded.
Well, and that's how the media put it out there,
right.
Which was a big shock to everyone. And it's funny, I had just gotten off the phone with GoFundMe, and we were working out this thing. They wanted to do a PR thing, and it was great. And I made a video, and I was just getting ready to hit send on that video, and all of a sudden, boom, it came across. I was like, what? So instantly what I did at that point was I went straight to GoFundMe and I paused it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to take one penny from anybody if this wasn't actually still going on. And then over the next 24 hours, coming to find out that it wasn't the house that was purchased. It was just the bank notes from the bank. And
is that a common thing?
It's very common.
I understand that whole thing.
So what happens a lot of times another lender will buy up bank notes, and they'll use that to turn a profit. So they'll take it and they'll start the foreclosure process over again. And sometimes they'll after they foreclose on it and all that stuff, they'll jack the prices up. They'll do whatever. They'll try to sell it at a profit. So there's a lot of different, or they'll tack on their fees, their whatever added on fees, and so forth, and raise the price on it. So, but they have to go through the foreclosure process and all that prior.
Then who would be selling it? The bank or Jacqueline?
Oh, and they would still have to foreclose on Jacqueline. So the new lender would still have to foreclose the property on Jacqueline. And then the next step would be auction and so forth.
Oh, okay. Because that's what I was wondering about. Because again, one of the things I read is that Jacqueline technically still owns.
Yep. She owns it until that happens.
Yeah. Which again, that whole thing kind of confused me, because even I was talking to Cody and he was trying to explain it to me, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. I thought they already foreclosed on Jacqueline, but I guess this bank bought the note.
The auction comes when you have up.
They foreclose on a property and then they bring it to auction. So it has to be foreclosed on and then brought to auction.
So this could be 3, 4, 5, 6 months before.
No, I don't think so at all.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think so at all.
There's not a certain amount of payments you need to miss before it goes in.
No, I mean it's already there. It's already, yeah. So, and it's, this is, that's why I've said it's it's kind of crucial time. So it's, trying to raise it.
That makes a lot of sense. I was thinking 5, 6 months, but you're right that everyone who needs to, or wants to, I should say, contribute, should really, keep doing that. Because
definitely time is of the essence right now, and that's the main thing. Is just securing the funds, making sure that's ready, so the attorneys and everything else can pay attention to the next move instantaneous.
Well, I noticed you're getting a lot of nods from other people in the paranormal that are well known, that are standing behind you, as well as your everyday paranormal teams and the people who follow and adore you. And I know there are naysayers on the other side that make comments of why you're doing it and what your reasons are.
But it's pretty obvious. It's been on every post.
But you have been so open from the moment you started talking about this, that if it doesn't happen, your money's refunded. there's the people who are nitpicking. I always say to John, when things are happening in life, there are times in history that somebody steps forward and is courageous enough to be the voice. And I think in this instant, you're that. And when that happens, people get upset because they're not the voice, or they didn't think of it first, or they weren't picked. So I think there comes envy with that.
Well, I think first off, I didn't ask to be here.
No,
So,
you didn't.
And secondly, it you know what? Let's be honest. Again, I had a hit show for 20 plus years. I don't have to do anything.
You don't.
You know, and I still work. I'm still a plumber because I want to. I keep myself busy. I'm going to sit around all day and do nothing. So it's just one of those things where, you know, it's like, yeah, the naysayers or whatever. Why are you doing this? You're just looking for money. I'm not looking for money. If any of them know me, like you guys know me, I think you guys know I've never looked for money. It's you know, it just makes no sense. And this is about preserving a property at the request of the very person that Hollywood has made billions of dollars off of her family's story. And all she's asking is for one damn thing. One damn thing. And that's it.
That's a really good point. That's a really good
one
point.
thing. And it's like, and all we're doing as a community, not just me, but as an entire community, is trying to give her that one damn thing.
And she's not asking for herself. She's not saying buy the house for
she
my
knows. She
family.
doesn't know. But you know what? I would love for this community to be able to make this happen. And I would love to be able to bring the parents back and at least show them the problem. They're not going to live there. I mean, they live in Florida. They're perfectly content. But just to show them, so no matter what happens, she knows at the end that we did this for her.
Wow.
I mean, I think that right there, I mean, that means everything. I mean, that would allow me to sleep at night and feel like, you know, feel good. And so those out there who want to naysay, I mean, let them. I can't change their beliefs, but if they knew the least bit about me, they'd know that first off, I'm honest. Secondly, I'm transparent. Third, I don't need their damn money. You know, this was something to do as a community to make sure we could offset a cost, to make sure that everybody was able to go there and not be financially burdened to do so.
Wow. Well, what a great thought, though. And I never really thought of it that way until you just said what you said about, you know, Hollywood, you know, has made a ton of money off of that story.
And yet
and that
they're not
family.
stepping forward, are they?
And yet here we are at this point where that house and the timing of everything, that's such a great way to put it, too, because, again, you're not asking for a financial gain here or a huge investment where you're still looking to keep the field involved and make it affordable. And if you think about it as a whole, God, what a great story and what a great thought and intentions behind it, whether I'm a fan of yours or not. I mean, it's just like you wish. Again,
I donate,
in the world,
and if you can, and it can be saved, I can go around for the rest of my life saying I helped. I was a small part
not
of
only
that.
that,
I mean,
even if you go there in the future to go investigate there,
I helped
the
do
story
that.
behind not just the haunting, but what went into
What brought the
preserving it.
community
My God.
together with the craziness of this community? Look what brought this community
Yeah,
back.
I mean,
never think
there can be a
never.
positive out of it. I think
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to is, you know, and also
That's
just
a perfect
and you know what,
legacy
and you know
behind
the funny thing, and we got to talk about the event, but the funny thing is some of these people out there who are purposely like put out misinformation in hopes of because they think the legs on this movement are going to crumble, that people are going to be like, oh, okay, no, you bought it instead, that's fine, charge this much, you know. This movement is, I think, is fed up with so much
Big
of
time.
this, and you know, and they're just like, you know what, enough of this outrageous, you know, pricing, enough of just nickel and diming me for everything.
You got
and so, and you know, and I had some people, I'm not going to say the names, but they're like, you did this because you know, they're interested in the property, but they're like, you've damned any owner, anybody else who owns that property, you know, but you. And I'm thinking, okay, and I can see their point on that. But if you got the property and you did exactly what I was doing, would that be damning you? First off, I mean, I get Andrea's plea. So let's take that into consideration. If you really care about the field and you're passionate about it and everything else, if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, I know you're trying to buy this property, but if this person made this plea and everything else," I'd be like, "I get it. You know what? I'm going to throw in and help you out because that's right."
Join the
No, he's
Exactly.
right.
So
right.
but to say that you're still going to go after it no matter what, and then tell me that that I'm damning anybody who does it. No, I'm not. Why? Because I brought a community together under that I help bring a community together to say enough is enough, and also try to answer a plea. How's that damning anybody?
It's
If
not,
you
but it
decide to
also
go
puts
in
a
and
glaring
charge,
mirror on them.
yeah,
though.
if you decide to go in and charge incredible rates, well, then you've damned yourself.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
No, but you are. It's not. It's the movement of this that puts the spotlight on them, that they're doing it for the opposite reason.
Well,
you're doing it for the right reason, the good reason.
Yeah, it's not an investment to you. It's
I'm sorry I'm messing up somebody's business
venture.
plan, but this
That's
isn't a
it.
business plan
Yeah.
for me.
And yes, you could view that as other people that have interests as a business venture would look at it. But how can anybody?
But don't do it under the skies of passion and love for the field.
That's
Don't
what
do
I
it on,
mean.
and
You
that's
can't-
my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, you can't have
Don't
both.
yeah,
You
don't sit
can't
there and
have
tell
both.
me you're doing this for passion and love
No.
of the field when okay, but then why? If it's passion and love of the field, then you don't have to line your pockets that much.
Yeah, you can't really have it both ways. I mean, you've already
That would be like me showing up to your event and being like, no matter what, my pictures are $200 a pop. Take it or leave it. That's not who I am.
You texted that to me the other day, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's not who I am. My pictures are cheaper than the majority of pictures because it's like, come on. So, whatever.
But you're right about that because, again, I'm not trying to shamelessly plug our event here. Please don't look at it that way. But when we started Para Unity, the idea of Para Unity was keep it affordable and try to offer everything that the big box corporate hotel, casino, paracons offer. We're in a high school.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
And it's one of the best events. I mean, we're in a freaking high school
in the middle of Jersey.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
We try to give everybody the big box experience.
We want families to come and afford it.
But making it affordable, honestly, hand to my heart, is the goal, to raise money for the charity fund and to keep our event so that families could come. Everybody has a right to experience.
Exactly.
We couldn't do that with our families.
Jason Hawes and everybody else who's.
And the nice thing about it is you guys aren't lining your pockets with
Never.
it. And just like the Conjuring house, I'm not looking to line my pockets with it. We have our lives, we have our businesses, we have this, we have that. You're doing your thing, trying to give back. I'm just trying to do my thing to try to give back. And again, my thing was off of a plea, a request to do so, and it was answered. And it was answered not just by me, but it was answered by tens of thousands of people around the globe.
And you're right. That shows that. I mean, we're in the field and we do events all the time, and we we'd like to travel and go to these great places that everybody else goes to. But you're right. Some of them you go to book and it's expensive, and there should be a movement. There's a lot of people out there, again, because of people like you that are out there getting into the paranormal, that are going to these different places, that are trying to find anywhere to go. And yeah, there should be a main location, Conjuring house, wherever, that can be accessible to all these people at an affordable rate. And, not just for the people that have a ton of money who could afford to do this stuff. I mean, and I could see where the others look at that and go, well, you're kind of ruining it for us by putting out this message
but that's not my problem.
And affordability, because that's not what we're doing. And you're making us look bad by doing that. But no, you're not.
I'm not making them look bad. I'm just, I mean,
you're talking about one building, one thing for a specific reason, a friend.
Exactly.
And that's what you're talking.
And
you're not talking
about
buying
as long as
doing this.
As long as this property was able to cover its expenses and put some money in the bank on a monthly basis for its upkeep and property taxes and stuff like that. Anything that happens, hot water heater goes, your furnace system quits, then perfect. You know, it's like, it's not being cashed in on. It's you know, it's growing its own funds to take care of itself in case something happens. I mean, you know, there's so many different factors that come into play. Yeah, so that's bottom line. Or it's bettering itself. It's doing something. It's fixing the barn that's been sitting there for 16 months that's it burned. You know, it's bettering the barn. It's doing something with the inside that's going to benefit the community. Things like that. It's, you know, you could have, and there's so many different ways to bring money into that property for it. Have Halloween parties, have things like that. I mean, you got these big fields, you got all this opening, you know, have public events, you know, fairs, things that bring the communities together, things that can connect everybody, things that can bring the property a profit to put in the bank to take care of itself.
Yeah, and bring visitors in, and like you said, embrace the township and the community and all that stuff, and the paranormal community, all at
And that's
one
why it said
time.
also, I mean, have it'll have its own LLC. I mean, that way it's got its own funds going. It's doing its own, it's taking care of itself. It's like, you know, I've got other businesses. I mean, it's like, whatever. It's, you know, let this one do its own thing.
I'm thinking, you know what I think we need to do? I just had a great idea. Remember the Jerry Lewis telethons? We should do something like that. We get you on, and Cody Satori and a bunch of other guests, and we just do an all-nighter where people make donations and we watch the little tote board.
That's actually not a bad idea. Crazy, but not a bad idea.
Come on, Jay. You know I can handle like 6 hours on my own.
Oh,
I
well, yeah, you probably
I
could.
could talk forever.
But
I think that's a good idea, actually.
But this is going to be a fun event, man. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah. Again, I appreciate you coming on, Jason. I literally asked him last week, and I know he's in the middle of everything that's going on. And he always is like, yeah, just let me know what day. And I read everything that was going on. I'm following you on social media. And I thought maybe, again, having you on, if there's anybody out there who doesn't know about this yet, again, Jason is trying to do his best through GoFundMe to raise funds to buy the Conjuring house.
I thought this was going to be talking about your event, though.
No, come on. No, this was. I want to. This is important. This, like you said, this is
important.
It is. It's important to me. It's important to the community. It's important to Andrea.
And we're behind all that. I mean, your ideals and your loyalty to your friend and what you want to do with the place and involving the community.
Well, and you know what?
Everything we're about.
You know, and like I said, even before I agreed with this on this, I talked with the neighbors and stuff, because the neighbors have had a lot of issues throughout the years, and you know, and I talked with them, and it was you know, one of them actually, I'm not going to get into it, but he had a pretty good run-in with someone about a month ago, somebody who's interested in the property, and just the back and forth, the disrespect, it's just, it doesn't need to happen. And you know, it's all about trying to make their lives easier as well, because sometimes they're living through hell. I mean, you got people, they just the other day, they had to have the cops over there because people were trying to trespass and break in. And it's like, you know, yeah, it's ridiculous, and that just needs to be resolved, because everybody needs to be able to get their lives back, feel okay in their homes and stuff like that. They just don't need that.
That's a really good point, though, because people don't really consider, you know, everybody, like, in their head pictures a house in the middle of a field with nothing around. I don't care what haunted location you're talking about. No one ever thinks that there may be people that it affects in the community where, again, all these cars lining up and people driving up all hours of the night trying to get in.
But again, what does it say about your character that you're concerned about everybody involved all the way around?
Well, I mean, yeah, people can draw their own conclusions, but you know, and they can draw their own conclusions on my sincerity of this. But I mean, again, I didn't ask to be here at this time.
You didn't.
I stepped up because somebody needed, or somebody really wanted me to, and with me came a world of people, and you know, and they're the ones who've made it really possible. I've been the voice, but they've been the power. Let's be honest.
But how does that feel when the moment you said to yourself, you know what, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm, and
I
you
was
know
scared
everything
shitless,
involved
John.
more than anyone because you went through the
You're scared
hotel and all that
shitless.
I was
stuff.
scared shitless, John. I never in my life ever, and I've never asked somebody to donate, or I've
Right.
never created a
Nope.
GoFundMe. I've never done any of
But
this.
I'm talking
Well,
about the whole commitment, the
oh,
whole.
I mean, it was amazing to see when I initially I'm just like, all right, I'll put the GoFundMe up for
Right.
the 1.5 or whatever's going to be needed, because I don't know any of this. I didn't do it. It was
Right.
all new to me. And then when I opened it and I posted about it,
Yeah.
I mean, within the first couple hours, it was at $20,000, and it was growing, and it was growing. And then there was a weird hiccup, which we won't get into, but I guess somebody complained about something, and so it got paused because they wanted to make sure that this was legit. There wasn't any weird thing going on. And, so got that fixed. So that took, 24, 36 hours. And then got it back up, and boom, we got to like 30 something. And then I had to pause it because the word came in that it sold, even though it hadn't sold. And then I opened it back up, and now we're $100,000 beyond that. And I mean, we're 10 days now, 10 days. And I'm not sure exactly how many of those days it's been up because of the other things, but we're at almost $137,000 right this moment. So
and then the 400 grand that you
and
mentioned
then,
today.
yep, and I almost had a name there. That would have been bad. Yeah. But yeah, so, but yeah, then the personal commitment from a dear friend who, hey, if you can get to this much, get to 600K and I'll throw in 400,
Wow.
which is huge. And then on top of that, my commitment, where I'm sitting there saying I'm matching dollar for dollar. So yeah, because, and you know what, it's one of those things where it's not going to kill me to do that. And if I can do that and help out and make this happen, well, then, I mean, it was worth it.
Do you think it's going to get into a bidding war? Is it going to come to that?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain individuals who still plan. So who knows? I mean, but then again, I'm not gonna lie. Some of my friends, John, and some of my friends are very adamant that
Yeah.
they'll be there to support that. And
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Okay.
and those people are in a hell of a lot better spot than any of us or all of us combined. So, to
What
know
Jay
that,
is saying, he's sitting on a bank load.
well, let's just say I'm not going to show all my cards because,
And you should never.
yeah. And the fact of the matter is, do I want to do that? No,
No.
absolutely. Ideally, the cheapest we can save this property for and get it open for everybody
Yeah.
is the best,
Of course.
100%. But if it comes down to, okay, well, I have to call in reinforcements. I mean, that possibility is there, happy, and yeah,
I hope it
so,
doesn't come to that, but I got a feeling it might. From what I'm
we'll
hearing.
we'll see. I mean, yeah, some people, it's who knows. I guess
Yeah.
it all
Well,
falls
Maybe
under.
if they see how serious this
I would love to
community
take back now.
is.
Just
Yeah,
leave
that's
the link for him, but
I don't know.
that's-
We'll see.
We don't live in that world.
They've
Well,
yeah.
There's another thing too. They're and you can't just gloss over it. There could be backlash if somebody else gets a hold of this. I mean,
Well,
we can't be blasé about that.
And you know what, you always got to consider the unknown too. Remember, the people
Yeah,
out there who are
that's true.
publicly saying they're interested, and then there's people out there who just aren't being public about it. So
they're waiting.
yeah. And the only reason this is so public is, again, because of a plea and because of a community. And I'm
Yeah.
fine with that because, and we show power in numbers, and, but we do it in a respectful way.
Exactly.
And I think that's the most important thing. Nobody's being weaponized. Fans aren't being weaponized. Followers.
No,
aren't
you're
being
not telling anybody to go attack that guy because he's
No.
bidding.
No, not at all.
That
And
guy,
I'll
that guy.
never do that. That's never
Yeah.
been my style.
Nope.
You know what?
I have that list, Jay. I'm gonna.
If we can win it, it's win it with class, and I
Right.
think that's the most important. Win it with class, and
I think it's doable. I think it's going to
I
happen.
think it's a
There's
great
something.
story. God,
John-
if this were to come through.
John
my God.
actually said to me when he saw the video, like, he can't walk away from The Conjuring. It's not going to
No,
let
well,
him.
it was. I watched the video, and a lot of people they messaged me and they sent me stuff. And the last one you did where you were talking about the number you hit, and I think was over 120, and you were in front of a bunch of pictures, and you were talking about how, again, thank you everyone, and you could tell that you were emotional,
Yeah.
that you were even taken back by the way that things are going here, and again, that it makes anybody who loves this field and appreciates just good people and good things, then how could you not want to be part of all of this, honestly?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a incredible feeling. It is. It's an incredible feeling to see what started and what's taken root and how quickly it's grown. I
Well,
think
you're
that
doing an honorable thing,
well,
a very
I
honorable
think
thing.
everybody out there is doing an honorable thing.
Yep.
I spoke up first. I was
Yep.
that voice that made everybody realize that it was okay to speak up.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm okay with being that first voice and taking the hit,
Oh, that
because
I know.
I know that there's so many people behind me who are going to step up and be right with me. So
Well, speaking of honorable things, New Jersey Power Unity.
great event,
That was
fun time.
my segue. In
There
case
you go.
didn't notice. For those of you who don't know, we run a convention in New Jersey, Woodbridge High School in Woodbridge, New Jersey, coming up November 8th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ghost Hunters will be there. We have a great lineup. Lots of free lectures, free exhibit rooms, lots of people from Bigfoot shows and other shows.
Even Ghost Adventures, right? Jay will be there.
Jay will be there. I don't
Yeah.
know if you wanted me to mention it.
Why wouldn't I? I don't have any problem with any of them. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, I know them all. I've never met
Jay will
Jay.
be there. Lauren, who's also on the show, will be there. Adam Berry will be there.
Oh, screw that then. I'm not coming. Adam, come on.
Ghost Brothers will be there.
Yep.
Everybody loves the Ghost Brothers. Lots of people will be there. And check out the website, New Jersey Power Unity Expo. I know that's a mouthful. New Jersey Power Unity Expo.com. Tickets are on sale online at the door. You can check out all the Expo has to offer. We're in our 11th year, believe it or not, and every penny raised online or at the door goes to the mayor's charity
100%.
fund, which benefits people in the community that are suffering through hardships and
4
losses
families
and-
were helped last
Yeah.
year because the money raised. They had fires
very
last
proud
year,
of that.
so it's a big
It's
deal.
incredible.
And we appreciate the support from the Ghost Hunters have been amazing to us.
And
Jay,
there's still tickets left for the VIP party that
Yeah,
Jay's
few.
going to be in.
but Jay had mentioned that again, he's been with us now, fortunately, for probably 3, 4, 5 years.
Let's just wait. Hang on. Let's tell the story, John. When you first met me,
Yeah,
because you started off, you had heard. We won't even say from who. We won't
Okay.
say from who. That I was
Steve
a
Gonzalez.
real what? Yeah, that I was a pain in the ass and high
Well,
maintenance.
I had heard when I originally wanted to bring you, because Steve was with us first and Dave, and they're great guys.
Yeah.
I love Steve and Dave. And I wanted to meet you. I wanted you to be there. And I had spoken to people. I'm like, I'd really like to have Jay
Certain
come.
people, yeah, not all people. Yeah.
Well, it was a good amount of people. And I'm like, I'd like to bring Jay. And they're like, you don't want to bring him. And I'm like, well, why not? I'm like, I'm a fan. I'd love to meet him. They're like, he has such an attitude. He's got like a diva attitude. He gets frustrated a lot, really hard to work with. And I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to bring that into our event. But I knew he would draw people, Ghost Hunters, hello.
What's
And
your famous saying that you say all the time? You're not going to judge anyone until you meet them.
I met him and I was like waiting for it. Like, Jay, you're going to be over here. You guys are going to be doing this. And he's like, no.
And then you're all stressed. You're like, all right, so about the room and stuff. I'm like, John, just give me a room with a bed, man. I don't care. It's like, and you're like, this is not what I heard about you. Well, of course, question the source. But yeah, I mean,
wait a minute. I had to give up my luxury room with a kitchen for you one year.
Yeah, that's right. So,
no, I mean,
yeah.
you have.
You're like, you got the room with a hot tub. I'm like, I don't use the hot tub.
We didn't either. But that's a whole other story. But again, you do these conventions, you meet all these people, you hear things, and again, not because he's on here. I am a fan. I've watched that show since it's been on. I couldn't wait to meet him and the rest of the ghost hunters. And Jay is the type of guy, ask him a question, get an answer. Whether you like it or not, straight shooter always. And I appreciate that more than anyone because I want to know just where I stand with the people that I don't want a facade. I don't want phony. I want the truth.
Real.
And Jay is the truth. 100%.
Real deal.
Like, so I told you in the back that one night, I was like, if you don't want the answer, don't ask me the question.
Always.
So,
Always. And I appreciate that about you. And you've always been great to us and great to the people that attend. And I hope you guys come out to meet him in
Well,
person.
somebody's asking, Jay, are you going to show up for the Saturday night VIP party?
I show up usually for both.
Yeah, he does. I
You
can't
know, I
promote
do.
that because I don't want to force
Yeah, I
them.
know, but I still do. It's like, everybody's hanging out. So I go and hang out. Why am I going to sit in a hotel room? It's like, whatever. I'll come hang out.
So you just made Gina Cardello happy.
There you go.
Well, yes, you'll see me at both. I'll be chilling out there. So, yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't promote that again because contractually, there's that word. He's only contracted for one.
No party at the
But
hotel
we can't
bar.
promise.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey, watch that.
like that's ever mattered to me. It's like, whatever. So,
But I want to reiterate again how much I appreciate you doing this, and I think
do.
what you're doing, I hope it kind of resonates with others, kind of doing more things like this because I don't want to go too much out there, but every little bit kind of makes the world a little better, and restores your faith in people and community. And
I think this is doing it. I think
the
this has
field
got the
needs
spotlight
this.
on
The
it.
field really needs something.
well,
like
and to
this
see so
because-
many different communities coming together for this, I mean, has been amazing. It's
Yeah, but
it
it's a
really
lot of
has.
paranormal people who are normally like this.
Yeah.
A lot of the field is like,
But this is far beyond the paranormal. I
Exactly.
mean, the
It is.
paranormal is definitely the strongest part of this
Right.
foundation. But I mean, there's a whole community of skeptics,
Right.
a whole community of historians and
Yeah.
debunkers and stuff that have all been a part of this.
Right.
And I think that's why it's become so strong. And I definitely I don't see this movement slowing
No.
down.
I
I think
don't either.
people finally have just had enough, and they're calling it out. They're just like, you know what, we can't continue
Yep.
like this, and we can't.
No.
And because it doesn't. I mean, it's hurting everybody.
So what's going to be the talent for the telethon for you guys?
We're
You're
gonna
have
talk
Cody
to
come on
Jay
and
after that.
sing
That's
and-
my idea. He better not try to use that because I will.
We'll get Steve to walk in his hand.
That could be
Stupid human
Yes.
tricks and
Friday night is a costume party for the first time ever.
yes, Jay will be wearing a
Not
costume.
mandatory.
I'll be dressed up as a bald guy with a goatee.
Same costume last year.
Same thing I wear every year.
All right, Jay, I appreciate it, and best of luck with this, man. And I really
you so
do
much.
hope it grows and grows and grows like I think it will. And I appreciate you doing this.
Thank you so much, John. And to both of you, look forward to seeing you guys real soon. I look forward to seeing everybody at New Jersey Para Unity. Much love.
All
Stay
right,
safe.
Back
keep it real.
at ya.
take care, Jay.
Night, Jay.
Sounds-
All right, so again, it was great having Jay on. He means everything he says. I mean, he's doing this for all the right reasons, and it's refreshing and great to see in a world where people are divided about a lot of different things. He's trying to do it again for a friend and to save the property and preserve history and all the right reasons.
And he's
Keep it
trying to
affordable
save it for us,
and keep it affordable
for all of us in
I
this
mean,
field.
Wow, what a great movement. So go to Jason Hawes' Facebook page. You'll see the GoFundMe there. and
Taryn
donate.
actually posted it on here too. If
Yeah.
anybody sees it, Taryn Kepper actually pinned it on here too. So if
And
you guys can see
go
it.
to his Facebook and you'll see it there, the GoFundMe, and donate if you can. You'll be part of this whole thing.
Part of making history here,
Yeah.
because this is history that's happening right now in this community, and it's a wonderful thing to say.
We need more of it for sure. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, John, Chris, New Jersey Paranormal. We do a lot of content on this page. We investigate haunted objects live. We do a lot of events in New Jersey, ghost hunts that you could join us. We're doing the convention on November 8th. We post about that on here as well. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll stick with us and check out some of our content.
Have a good night. Stay healthy, stay safe, and remember to be kind to each other. It makes a difference.
Night, everybody.
Good night.